Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about hacking, and we will begin with history of hacking and hackers. Hacking first appeared as a term in the 1970s, but became more popular through the next decade. An article in 1980 edition of Psychology Today ran the headline The Hacker Papers, and an exploration of computer usage addictive nature. 2 years later, two movies, Tron and War Games, were released in which the lead character set about hacking into computer systems, which introduced the concept of hacking to a wide audience and as a potential national security risk. Sure enough, later that year, a group of teenagers cracked the computer system of major organizations like Los Alamos National Lab, Security Pacific Bank, and the Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. These two techniques evolved and increased in sophistication and gave birth to a wide range of types of hacking and hackers.
Identity theft occurs when criminals steal a victim's personal information to commit criminal acts. The impact of identity theft on the e-commerce process and markets is growing. More people are using mobile devices which have access to the internet to make online purchases. Having personal information on vendor website makes personal and confidential information vulnerable to malicious attacks by hackers. Hackers and crackers are using many different ways to access consumers' private information. Identity theft is commonly defined as a crime that occurs when someone acquires your personal information and uses it without your knowledge to apply for credit cards, make unauthorized purchase, gain access to your bank account, or apply for credit and obtain loans in your name. Firstly, the victims often don't find out about the theft until it's too late. The way in which the consumer can be harmed by identity theft: number one, having their privacy invaded; two, suffering the psychological trauma of having their reputation ruined; three, incurring financial liabilities; and four, undergoing transaction costs to restore their names. Identity theft facts you need to know. In 2019, 14.4 million, or 1 in 15 people, were victims of identity fraud. 1 in 5 identity theft victims experiences identity theft more than once. Victims lost more than $1.9 billion to identity theft in 2019. 3% of identity theft victims experiences emotional distress. And we have signs of identity theft. Number one, delayed arrival of bills and financial statement. These kinds of delay may indicate cybercriminals have changed the mailing address of your account or are stealing from your mailbox. Number two, unexpected calls from creditors about outstanding charges and balances on existing account or for account and charge you didn't make. Number three, new account confirmation from a bank, credit card company, or online business you didn't associate it with. Number four, credit card charges and bank account transactions that you didn't make. Number five, cancellation notes of utilities or services. Here's the solution for identity theft. How to prevent identity theft. Number one, make sure website hosting online forms use HTTPS double slash. Number two, choose strong password and change it regularly. Number three, limit the amount of personal information you share on social networks. Number four, never write down your PIN or passwords.
Type of hackers. Hackers can be classified into three different categories: black hat hacker, white hat hacker, and gray hat hacker. Black hat hackers are also known as unethical hackers. These people hack the system illegally to steal money or to achieve their own illegal goals. They find banks or other companies with weak security and steal. They can also modify or destroy the data. White hat hackers, also known as ethical hackers or penetration testers, these people use the same technique used by black hat hackers. They also hack the system, but they can only hack the systems that they have permission to hack. In order to test the security of the systems, they focus on security and protection IT system. Gray hat hacker are hybrid between black hat hacker and white hat hacker. They can hack any system even if they don't have permission to test the security of the system, but they will never steal money or damage the data.
Bin Laden was in the top 10 most wanted by the FBI. Perhaps the most realistic picture came from his family. They portrayed him as a gifted young man from a humble background who dropped out of high school and developing his programming skills in cyber cafes before maybe going too far in testing his skills. Using malicious software called Spy Eye, Bin Laden under the Pseudonyms BX1 or Daniel HB broke into the computer of the banks or private individuals to acquire passwords or an identification code. Once he took control of an account, he emptied them. After a 3-year chase, Ben Dellage was arrested on January 7, 2013 by Thai police while making a stopover in Bangkok in transit between Malaysia and Egypt. He didn't resist arrest. He said goodbye to his family as he was arrested and his wife and daughter continued their journey to Egypt without him. He earned the nickname Smiling Hacker due to the smile on his face during his media presentation on all the photos taken after he is arrested, even when handcuffed, according to Thai police. Despite much false information on the internet, Ben Dellage didn't get sentenced to death. Hamza Ben Dellag's smiling face stand in a sharp contrast with the stereotype of the hacker as a stone-clad figure hiding in the shadows. The Algerian national was arrested on January 2013 in Thailand during a fight connection between Malaysia and Egypt. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced in April 2016 to 15 years behind bars. Depending on who you ask, Bin Dallaj was a cybercrime mastermind, braggart, a digital Robin Hood, or gifted young man who pushed the limits. The US Department of Justice painted him as a cybercriminal responsible for 100 million in financial losses. The sentencing memorandum states that his software infected hundreds of thousands of victims around the world and that he went to great lengths to cover his online tracks. He lived the high life of his ill-gotten gains, flying first class and staying in luxury hotels. Social media users have elevated him to near Robin Hood status, crediting him variously with the hacking of European foreign affair ministries' website to secure travel visas for young Algerian and donation of hundreds of millions of dollars to African and Palestinian charities. Supporting evidence is nowhere on offer, but the mythology runs strong. But this decidedly level-headed narrative failed to impress American justice officials who needed to make an example out of his arrest, his cybercrime peers who feared he would rat on them, and the social media masses in their never-ending quest for modern folk heroes.